Hi everyone, it's Jay here, and these are the manga and manhwa releases for the first part of November. There's quite a few, so let's start with the Kodansha releases. Medalist Volume 5. The Chubu Block Tournament has begun. In the novice class, fierce competition awaits girls from prestigious clubs who have dedicated themselves to skating since childhood. Inori, who just advanced to the novice class last month, and her coach Tsukasa are challenging the elite, aiming for the coveted All Japan Championship. We're getting a new series called Snow and Ink. Sentenced to death for the crime of sadistically killing his entire village, Neneo is all but ready to accept his fate when he is mysteriously bought and saved by the wealthy heiress Freya. Emotionless and numb to the world, Freya is also an outcast, hiding deep wounds of her own. Unfazed by the tales of Neneo's crimes, she enlists him to accompany her in her exile to the far north. As this unlikely pair, both shunned by a cold world, venture together into the deep snow, they begin to find warmth in each other, but the past won't let itself be so easily forgotten. The Fable Volume 4. This story is about a hitman who has to stop his crime life and live an ordinary life. It is an omnibus edition that contains volumes 7 and 8. The Seven Deadly Sins, 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, Volume 14. Despite the protection of Demon King Zeldris, the 4 knights find themselves held back by a relentless rain of fire. Percival's team is training hard in the meantime, preparing for the battles ahead. With tensions rising, the advance towards the giant beast Behemoth begins, and the two factions finally face off in an epic confrontation. As the intense battle unfolds, Percival's true identity is revealed. Vinland Saga Deluxe Volume 5. This oversized collection includes volumes 13 to 15 of the Japanese edition of Vinland Saga, plus 26 pages of bonus content. So you get 16 pages of interviews with the creator, most of it available in English for the first time, a timeline of the story and how it fits into the real history of the Viking Age, a new glossary of Viking terms, and a faux leather cover featuring a runic inscription introducing the character of Gudrid. Adu Volume 5. Tsujiura, Dr. Shiga, and the remaining soldiers face issues when the half-mad Dr. Inui pulls a secret kill switch that threatens to flood the facility. Can the survivors band together to escape, or will they all find a watery grave? A standalone, home office romance. Nokaru has been working brutal overtime at a demanding job when the pandemic lockdown finally gives him the chance to telework from home. This new situation, and the time he saves on his commute, lets him rediscover old passions and new hobbies. The lush garden he creates on his apartment balcony provides a chance to get to know his neighbour, Natsu, a graduate student in archaeology. How do two adults build a relationship amid social distancing when face-to-face interaction is frowned upon, even dangerous? I think this sounds like a lovely story and I do want to pick it up. I See Your Face Turned Away Volume 3. In this one, Hikaru Asagiri, a handsome student with impeccable academic and athletic ability, enters the picture. He lives life on easy mode, but what does he hide in his heart? Origin Volume 7. Assembling a team to analyse the remnants left at the scene, AEE are well on their way to discovering the truth, that mysterious robots live in secret among the human population. At the same time, Origin has determined that for Mai's own safety, he has to reject her affection so harshly that she'll keep her distance from him forever. Sailor Moon Manga Box Set 1. It includes volumes 1 to 6 of the Naoko Takeuchi Collection edition of the Sailor Moon manga, and it also contains an exclusive set of 16 art cards and a beautiful holographic box featuring a premium magnetic enclosure. Another new series, Sheltering Eaves. High schooler Yoru was sent to a group home at the age of 10 after her mother abused her. Tenjaku, a boy the same age, took her under his wing. Now as teenagers, Yoru and Tenjaku only have a year left before they are legally required to leave the home, and they must pack a lot of growing up into a short period of time. The foremost decision in Yoru's mind, what to do about the feelings for Tenjaku that she's sheltered in her heart during their years together. Sue and Tai-chan Volume 5. With Natsuki heading out for an overnight trip, Sue and Tai-chan are overjoyed to have the run of the house, but before they can kick off their staycation, the unthinkable happens. The cat duo gets locked out. Will they be able to find a way back inside? Wandance Volume 11. Whether good or bad, the spotlight shows all. It's time for Kabo and Ichirin to take the stage at the Dance Area Regionals. But are they ready? Will Ichirin stand as one, or will the other teams and their own doubts pick them apart? Moving on to the Yen press releases, 86 Operation High School. This spin-off takes place with the 86 characters, but they live in a world where none of the tragic events happened and there was no war. This is the story of Shin, Lena and their friends as normal students attending 86 private high school, where they'll take part in club activities, the culture festival, a fireworks festival and more. It's a story of heartwarming romance and a youth that could never have happened in the original 86. Seirei Gensoki Spirit Chronicles Volume 5. With the emergence of the Pillars of Light come shocking discoveries. Miharu, Haruto's beloved childhood friend from Ryo's past life, is among the people he rescues, and that's not all. A new series, Colette Decides to Die. Colette meets Hades, a fellow workaholic, while he is ill in bed with a rash and fever. After treating his condition, she learns about the work he does and what drives him, in turn renewing her sense of purpose as an apothecary. Colette is sent back to her own world, but is this the last she will see of Hades? Dark Gathering Volume 10. With Keitaro fully under the spirit of the Adam's parasitic spell, his only hope for survival lies with Eiko, Yayoi, and the ghost of a long-dead warrior. In this battle between fearsome martial prowess and pure uninhibited love, the winner will take all. In the Name of the Mermaid Princess Volume 4. This is a Viz Media release, and because of their special abilities, Mermaid Princess Mio and her allies are kidnapped to be sold to the highest bidder. At least she finally gets to meet her fiancé, Prince Chika, for the first time. Or so she thinks. Another new series, Kagurabachi. As a young boy, Chihiro trains every day under his father to become a swordsmith. Although different in temperament, the two spend peaceful days laughing and working together. But one day, tragedy strikes. Now Chihiro burns with hatred and sets out to exact revenge. Following clues left behind by a ruthless Yakuza organization, Chihiro confronts the Hishaku, a deadly group of sorcerers that may be behind his father's murder. Like a Butterfly Volume 9, Suren and Kawasumi love each other, but they also hurt one another, to the point where they mutually decide to put some distance between them. As they work through their uncertainty, maybe the summer festival that got them together in the first place can provide a magical spark. My Special One Volume 8. Emika and Kanato have been secretly head over heels for each other for years, but too many misunderstandings have made them unaware of each other's true feelings. With shooting on their drama wrapping up, Kanato makes up his mind to confess to Emika. Natsume's Book of Friends Volume 30. Natsume receives a second-hand invitation to a gathering of antiques dealers and aficionados. The event, however, is no mundane auction, and the guest list is filled with friends and foes alike. When the whole building is locked down after a theft is discovered, Natsume must rally his allies before his enemies make their move. One Punch Man Volume 29. S-Class hero Blast suddenly appears before Saitama and Flash in search of a mysterious box. But what is it about the box that has the Hero Association's top hero chasing after it? Queen's Quality Volume 20. There are tons of spoilers here, so all I will say is that Fumi must learn about her mother's past from Tsubasa in this one. Sakamoto Days Volume 14. A young Sakamoto and gang's mission to assassinate Kindaka goes sideways, and they find themselves somehow working with their intended target to protect some VIPs from an assassination plot. The Elusive Samurai Volume 13. Calamity has fallen upon Tokiyuki and his allies once again. Yorishige realizes his time has come and moves to cover Tokiyuki's withdrawal, but the young lord isn't giving up yet. Wolf Girl and Black Prince Volume 10. It's Erika and Kyoya's first hot springs trip. Erika can't wait to go, but something seems off about Kyoya. When the trip arrives, the pair have a blast sightseeing around town. Back at the inn, however, as the evening draws on and tensions begin to rise, Erika is totally unprepared for what she finds when it's time to finally turn in. You and I Are Polar Opposite, Volume 3. High school's full of ups and downs, but whether it's deciding where to have a birthday date, coming to terms with who you used to be, or trying to figure out the complex feelings that make up liking someone, Suzuki, Tani and all their friends will manage as long as they've got each other. Fly Me to the Moon Volume 26. Asimo has thrown down the gauntlet. If he can score at the top of the nation in his college entrance exams, he'll ask out his crush, the irrepressible Tease Himari. Unfortunately for him, Nasa has decided to take the exams too, despite not being in high school or planning to attend college. Hayate the Combat Butler, Volume 44. Hayate's recent castle dungeon crawl has introduced him to Konoha, who has 1,000 problems, but getting guys' attention isn't one. This spells trouble for all the girls with crushes on Hayate, but things aren't any easier for the girls without crushes on him, as Saki accidentally reveals her feelings for Wataru, and Chiharu accidentally reveals her double life as a maid. Helk Volume 12. This is the final volume of the series, so make sure you pick this one up to find out how it all ends. I'm the Grim Reaper, Volume 2. The debts of Scarlet's previous life on Earth have come due, as she stumbles onto the infamous criminal organisation, the Red Spades. Even worse, the Red Spades employ their own Reaper, a rabbit-masked man named Brooke, whose hellish powers far surpass Scarlet's. This volume collects episodes 17 to 26 of the popular webtoon, along with exclusive never-before-seen content and a bonus short story. One Piece Volume 107. Having learned too much of the world's history, Dr. Vegapunk is now the target of the CPO assassins. Vegapunk's only hope may be to ask for help from Luffy and the Straw Hat crew. But where are they? Radiance Volume 18. Seth and his allies hang out at the Wizard Hurler's laboratory to learn more about Fantasia and the Dormitors, the Inquisition and other enemies past and present. Sakura Saku Volume 5. Saku's feelings for Haruki are more powerful than ever, but when Saku finds out that Iryu might be the guardian angel who saved her years ago, the relationships among these friends begin to change, and that is out on the 12th of November. Seraph of the End Vampire Reign Volume 31. In this one, Yu and Mika continue to watch as long-lost forbidden memories of the past unfold before their eyes. Wanted, Eiichiro Oda before One Piece. See another version of Luffy in the original short story that launched a legend. The creator of One Piece presents this unique collection of his earliest works. From western to fantasy to ghost story, this special volume has it all, including Romance Dawn, the one-shot that would become the international mega-hit One Piece. Volume 1 of X-Men the Manga Remastered. The classic manga adaptation, unavailable for years, now finally returns to print. Newly remastered and presented in a deluxe edition, this is definitely one for the X-Men fans. From Sublime, Black or White Volume 9. Shige's boss, CEO Asakusa of the Tokyo Sky Star Agency, unexpectedly visits the set where Shige, Shin and Tatara are filming their next movie, and when he approaches Shin, making it clear he's there just to see him, it sets Shige, Tatara and the others on edge. Seeing their behaviour change, Shin finally figures out that something is up. Trigun Maximum Deluxe Edition Volume 2 from Dark Horse Comics. Yasuhiro's Naito's Trigun is an international smash hit, and this deluxe hardcover edition contains volumes 4, 5 and 6. It is just over 600 pages long, has a faux leather cover with foil stamping and burnishing, and it has a bookmark ribbon as well. Moving on to the Seven Seas Entertainment releases, we have Leave the Sacrifice at the Gate. Uzumaki Nanao was born to be a sacrifice. However, when his family delivers him to the god who's supposed to eat him, things don't go quite as expected. The god is more interested in taking it easy than sacrificial offerings, totally ruining Nanao's end-of-life trajectory. Can he convince the god to eat him? The Duke of Death and His Maid Volume 15. The death match against the wickedest witch there ever was builds to a frenzied crescendo. Will the Duke's fervent overtures of friendship break through the mind-reading witch's defences, or is he doomed to be cursed with the touch of death until the end of his days? Killer Shark in Another World Volume 2. This story follows Shiromi Lovekutsuthruff, that's a strange name, who was considered to be the worst summoner in the world, but after she summoned Shark Killer, a creature capable of transforming into Hollywood's most ferocious B-movie sharks, nobody's laughing now. In fact, they're running for their lives. With her bloodthirsty buddy chomping at the bit to kill everyone in sight, can Shiromi defeat the Demon King and end his reign of terror? Or maybe the realm would be better off if she didn't. His Majesty the Demon King's Housekeeper Volume 8. Sakura's newest adventure has her heading to the underwater mermaid's domain, where she must find King Emelda, a pearl with anti-aging properties, but the mermaid queen becomes smitten with Sakura, and the housekeeping saint finds herself trapped underwater with a fishtail. Nightfall Travellers Leave Only Footprints Volume 2. Akane and Amemura continue to research the haunted places of their town as their friendship grows. Starting with rumours of a forgotten seventh mystery at their school, they investigate the truth behind the spooky stories about a local swimming pool, a bookstore, and other ordinary places. What will be revealed? Love is an Illusion, The Queen, Volume 1. I'm going to butcher these names, sorry. This is a spin-off series to Love is an Illusion, and it follows Park Do-jin's older sister Alpha Do-gyeom on her quest to find true love. As a 39-year-old woman, however, her options for marriage partners have dwindled. Luckily, she has her beleaguered Omega secretary, Sung-ha, to do most of the work of finding a suitable match for her. It shouldn't be a problem, even if Sung-ha and Do-gyeom have harboured secret feelings for each other for years. The New Recruit, Volume 1. This full-colour webtoon manhwa is about an office romance. Sung-hyun spent his 20s following his crush through college and grad school, only to wind up totally single and with no idea where to go in his career. When he manages to land an internship at a competitive marketing company, he's ready for a fresh start without worrying over unrequited love. Except his supervisor is the handsome workaholic Kim Jong-chan, whose hot and cold attitude leaves Sung-hyun flustered. And worse yet, his crush from school works at the same company too. 365 Days to the Wedding, Volume 5. The fake engaged couple Uhara Takuya and Honjoji Rika have apparently become relationship goals. They've been asked by their workplace to start a blog proving that the JTC travel agency is a great place for couples and families. However, that means all their lies about living together are going to have to become a reality. But how can they share the same space when they can barely even talk to each other right now? Tokyo Revengers Omnibus 2526. Tokyo's delinquent underworld is now controlled by the three titans, and Mikey is among them, ruling over a brand new gang. To change the course of history, Takemichi decides to join a rival crew and confronts his old friend head on. Sheep Princess in Wolf's Clothing, Volume 4. Aki is a wolfer butler, and Momo is a sheeper princess. Despite their social divide, the two have fallen in love and must keep their relationship a secret from everyone else. Meanwhile, Aki's co-workers Sakaki and Kiku must deal with their feelings for each other. Ennead Volume 4. The mirror's power and its consequences are slowly coming to light. Filled with remorse about what he did to Seth, Horus teeters on the brink of a decision that will affect the future of Egypt. No Longer Allowed in Another World, Volume 7. On the surface, the Kingdom of Blau is a utopia, prospering under the protection of Archbishop Elton, the first goblin to hold a position usually reserved for elves. Yet a secret tragic history has corrupted Elton's heart, and the prosperity of Blau is only a veneer that hides the rot beneath. Every single otherworlder within its borders has been imprisoned by his command, yet when a certain suicidal literary legend arrives in town, the rage of this fallen priest will inspire him to craft a story unlike any he's written before. The Tree of Death, Yomotsu Heguri, Volume 3. This is the final volume of the series, so to find out how it all ends, go buy it on the 12th of November. A standalone, That Time I Got Stuck to the Guy I Hate. Kuga is a first-year university student stuck with the worst roommates ever. The surly, disagreeable Igarashi. Whenever Igarashi opens his mouth, it's just to complain, and Kuga can't stand it. But one day, these two suddenly wind up literally stuck together, with no way to pull apart, and they're desperate to find a solution. A new series called The Big Apple. This is a mature-rated, supernatural thriller. It is a full-colour manhwa about a man leading a double life and his handsome lover who will stop at nothing to save their relationship. Joachim is a hitman for the SIA, but despite being great at his job, he hates it. He's constantly caught up in daydreams about quitting his risky life and trading it all for peaceful bliss with his lover, Jürgen Eisler. But quitting the agency is easier said than done. When Joachim's latest mission goes awry, he decides to do whatever is necessary to keep Jürgen safe, even if it means breaking off their relationship and going dark. Except Jürgen isn't ready to give him up so easily. Another new series, Yonoi Tsukihiko's Happy Hell. In this romantic comedy, for the sake of her family's farm, Hanabata Mikan has been arranged to marry the heir of a food and holdings company, Yonoi Tsukihiko. And Mikan refuses, saying she already has a man she loves, only for Tsukihiko to laugh in her face. He finds romance and love unnecessary, and has no intention of changing his views. But Mikan can't get married to a man who doesn't believe in love, right? Volume 5 of Fire in His Fingertips. When Miyu leaves her husband and shows up on Ryo's doorstep, Ryo decides to move in with Soma for a few days, which has her picturing what their life could be like together. Delinquent Daddy and Tender Teacher Volume 5. Hatoyama has been tapped to be the manager of a cafe on the verge of closure, and Hinata has made his very first friend. As always, Hitsuji is ready to support both of them as much as he can, but will their relationship finally be exposed in this one? My Kitten is a Picky Eater Volume 1. A heartwarming manga about two loners finding happiness and trust with each other. A kitten on the verge of death lies on the snow only to be rescued by a kind young man, Mano Taiyo. Nursing the ailing kitten back to health, Taiyo names his new charge Yuki. As a first-time pet owner, however, Taiyo struggles with Yuki's very particular palate. This picky kitten refuses to go anywhere near store-bought cat food. There's only one option left. While he's never cooked a single meal in his life, Taiyo resolves to make a meal worthy of his adorable new feline friend. And that's out on the 12th of November. Tokyo Revengers, a letter from Kisuke Baji, Volume 2. After Kisuke Baji introduced Chifuyu Matsuno to the Tokyo Manji motorcycle gang, Chifuyu is eager to rise through the ranks. However, that often means butting heads with Ryusei Sato, who mysteriously goes missing after an ominous warning. Chifuyu must set aside their differences and find his gang's missing member before it's too late. Classroom of the Elite Volume 12. In this one, the entire student body is split into two teams for the annual sports festival. It's classes A and D versus classes B and C, but with Horikita holding her classmates to the same high standards she holds herself to, it isn't long before everyone begins to distance themselves from her. Will this affect Class D's chance for victory? Moving on to the TokyoPop releases, we have Sweets for Sweets and Foreigners Volume 2. Ami Sato works for Kobara, a company that specialises in sweets. While she may be good at sales, her confidence in pretty much everything else is low. When she meets Alain Giraud, a handsome older Frenchman in charge of a new project she's assigned to work on, she begins to struggle to keep her romantic imagination in check, especially with Alain being so overly friendly. A Tale's Tale Volume 1. Nachi Hiyama plays softball, but hates how she never tans like her teammates. Feeling alone and discouraged, she struggles to fit in. That is until she meets Utsumi, a quiet, shy boy at her school, and discovers his secret. He has a tail. They might be different, but they can be different together. And a new series that I've seen quite a lot of on social media, it's Sanctify. This exclusive edition features an elegant gold foil cover, full-colour interior art pages, and a set of two 5x7-inch collector's art cards inside. 33-year-old Lance Hunter has no memory of his past lives, but the scars of his former selves remain etched in his skin. As the only remaining exorcist in London, Lance is hired to investigate a series of gruesome murders connected to a sinister cult. Accompanied by Gil, a mysterious policeman, Lance uses his spiritual powers to unravel the tangled truth of this case, unaware of the dark, sinister corners into which his new partner's twisted desires may lead. I was reincarnated as the heroine on the verge of a bad ending, and I'm determined to fall in love, Volume 1. A dating sim enthusiast wakes up in the body of Rainey Wainwright, an adorable otome heroine in a fantasy game. Rainey discovers that in this world, she's a lowly F-rank student at the magical Heartfelt Academy, bullied by her classmates and snubbed by her love interest for her lack of talent. Determined to avoid a bad ending, Rainey resolves to study hard, practice her magic, and pass the exams to increase her rank. If she grinds hard enough, she may be able to change her fate, make new friends, improve herself, and maybe even fall in love along the way. Moving on to the Square Enix releases, we have Other Side Picnic Volume 11. In this sci-fi fantasy survival thriller, the dangerous and deadly realm of the Other Side, where urban legends, cryptids, and folkloric legends roam, calls to two women, both in search of something. In this one, Soraro, Toriko, and Kozakura have been attacked by a group that venerates the mysterious missing Satsuki Uruma. What does Luna Urumi, the Satsuki worshipper with a bewitching voice, ultimately want with them? Demons of the Shadow Realm Volume 6. This series is by the mangaka who created Full Metal Alchemist. It is set in a world where certain humans command mighty supernatural duos called demons, and it is the birthright of the children who sunder day and night, twins Yuru and Asa, to rule over these powerful entities. In this one, Yuru is whisked away by a silent, skull-faced demon. So those are the manga and manhwa releases for the first half of November. There's quite a few new series there that I'm really interested in buying. I hope there's something there that you find interesting as well. If you want to buy from SciFier.com, which has really cheap prices, then feel free to use the code JAYSMANGA and you will get an extra 5% off their already discounted prices. And their postage is £1.99 no matter how many books you buy, which is great, so feel free to buy lots of books. I hope you have a lovely manga buying month, everyone. Bye!